What do you think, David?
So I said that 4 of them could represent a 3D object. This could be a cylinder, this is some kind of trapezoidal prism, and this looks kind of like a pyramid from above with the top lopped off. We can either see this as looking down at some kind of pyramid, or we might also see this as looking into a box. This one's a bit of an interesting example. It doesn't as naturally lend itself to interpretation as a 3D figure, but at the same time we can imagine that that's what you would get if you looked at this figure directly down.
David, it is interesting that you did not pick this as an answer as well. I guess I would have picked that one. I see this as an x-axis, the y-axis, and the z-axis, and because all 3 axes can be identified here, I would have thought that this too is an example of a 3D object.
That's interesting, Ashok. Now that you mentioned it, I can't stop seeing it as a 3D object. Now I see it as kind of a folded piece of paper that just has a line drawn up the center. Initially, I don't think I looked at that as a 3D object because I saw the lines as having to represent places where the figure folded or where different planes met. But if we look at the line at the middle as just kind of something drawn on the figure, it immediately pops out as a 3D object for me.
And this brings us to the point of this exercise. The point of the exercise is that clearly some kind of processing is occurring in our visual system that allows us to group these lines and these surfaces in ways so that we can identify which one of them is a 3D object and which one of them is not a 3D object. Clearly this processing is not completely definitive in that sometimes there is ambiguity. You might come up with one answer to this and someone else may come up with a slightly different answer to this because the processing leaves room for ambiguity.